Hello and welcome to Paints in Panzers. My name's Christian and today I'm going to be taking you through how I paint another 1/72nd scale toy soldier. Now this toy soldier is going to be painted slightly differently from how I usually paint my figures, and we're going to be going through all of that in just a moment, but I'm sure you've worked it out judging by the thumbnail. So let's get straight into it. I was lucky enough that the Army painter sent me 3 sets. So the first set we're going to be looking at is the World War II American paint set. Within that set you get 20 paints, and they include a variety of different colours, as you can see. So we've got a whole range of colours that will work for different uniforms that the Americans potentially have, as well as other stuff. Now within there you also get a pamphlet which shows you the actual full range of those war paints fanatics, and yeah, it's always good to have those. You can tick them off as you go, but plus you also get this painting guide. So if you want to know how things are done properly and in what order, then I would absolutely refer to the painting guide. If you're happy with just watching my videos, then that's great. I just sort of wing it and make it up as I go, and it seems to work all right for me. But yeah, the pamphlet in here with the painting guide is a really nice bonus. Now, as I said, you get 20 paints in here, and the paints are designed for people to use on their miniatures without having to go to any other paints. So they're going to have you covered for pretty much everything. Now, as the box art shows, we've got a US Paratrooper on the front there, and we're going to be copying that, but in 1/72 scale and in an M42 uniform. So think of Band of Brothers. So to start off with, to get that M42 uniform, which is like a khaki sandy colour, we're going to be using Paratrooper tan. Now I know some people might be screaming at me like, no, that's not historically accurate. It's actually got a green hue to it. That is correct. However, I'm going to be going with like a Band of Brothers theme, like I always do. I just obsessed with the TV series, so we're going to be going with this more of a sort of khaki tan colour. Now for the helmets and any other green items, I'm going to be using light drab. Within the box I think there's 3 different drabs, so like a medium and a dark drab, which is going to be perfect for that M43 uniform, which is the green paratrooper uniform that people might be more accustomed to towards the later parts of the war, like Market Garden and such. But I'm also going to be using that green to paint those reinforced knee pads. Now canvas is what I'm going to be using for his webbing. Paratrooper tan might also have been good for the webbing as well, but you don't want to mix the uniform and the webbing with the same colour, because then it's just going to blow out. You're not going to be able to make out really the difference between the webbing and such. So we'll go with canvas and we'll see how it looks at the end. Now this is where I've had my first little stumble. Boot brown is what I'm going to be using for the rifle, and I used the rifle brown for his boots. So I'm not sure if it's just my eye thinking that perhaps the naming might be a bit mismatched, but I found that this brown looks a little bit better. It's more of a brown than like a leather. It's got like a pink hue to it, the other color, which you'll see in a moment. So this brown I'm using for the bayonet sheath, as well as the shovel and the handle of his bayonet. So there we go, there's that rifle brown. You see how it's got a bit of a like a reddish hue to it. So yeah, I think rifle brown will make a really good sort of leather colour that's going to work really good for his jump boots, as well as if he had the chin strap visible or a pistol holster. Now for the rifle, I get a little bit inventive for the metal on the rifle. I use matte black and matte white at a 3:1 ratio. So obviously more black than white, just a little blob of white mixed in, and it's going to give you a really dark grey colour, which is going to work great for metal. I'm not a big fan of using silver for my guns, so I'll be avoiding using silver this time around, but the option's there if you prefer it. Now I'll also be using that colour for the soles of his boots. Now for the wash, I'm going to be using the black tone wash. Now on first inspections or test on this figure, I looked at the wash and I thought, oh my god, it is very dark. But you'll see in a minute, or in a second, I'm very surprised with how it dries up. Pleasantly surprised. You can see that it's dried up and it's not really that dark. Very surprised. There's a big thumbs up for that wash. I'm really impressed with it actually, because in first thoughts. I was like, oh no, I ruined the model, but no, it's dried up really nicely, so that's a big thumbs up. So to give the uniform a layer, I'm going to be using Paratrooper tan and canvas at a 1:1 ratio, and that's just going to give it more of that khaki slash sandier color, like what you'd see on the Band of Brothers TV series. Like I said, if you want to be more historically accurate, you could probably put a little bit of green in there as well, just to give it a bit of a green hue, but I'm not going to do that. Especially at this scale, I think this color actually works pretty good. Yes, it's actually going to pop out really nicely, as you can see. So canvas and matte white at a 2:1 ratio, so obviously more canvas than white, and that's going to be our highlight for all of his webbing. And I'm just going to be scratching in. I'm using a size 0 brush here, guys. It's not an army painter brush, so I won't mention the actual brand, but it's a size 0 brush. And you can see that I'm just scratching in all the details. You can see it there on the straps, on those cross straps there, and little buckles and such. Now light drab and canvas at a equal parts ratio, so 1:1 ratio, and you can see it goes to like a really nice light green, and I'm just again scratching all those details in. So this technique is going to work perfectly fine for your 28mm models as well, or your 15mm models. I pretty much keep the technique almost exactly the same, to be honest. Now I added a little bit of water on the brush and put that around the top just to blend it in a bit better, as if the sun's sort of reflecting off the helmet there. Now boot brown and rust at a 1:1 ratio is going to just brighten up that boot brown and give it more of an orange hue, and I'm just scratching it in to sort of simulate those wood grains. I know it's craziness at 1/72 scale, but it does work, and the technique is so easy to master that you don't need to worry about if you make a few mistakes. Now you can already see that rifle's already starting to stand out quite nicely. This is where we go next step and we add a bit of rust, and we do exactly the same, but just not on the same sort of level in terms of the amount that we're putting in. So reduce the amount of scratches you're putting on there, focusing on the middle parts of all of those bits of detail or bits of wood, just in the middle there, and just let the rest of it do its job. And you can see on the bayonet, I'm just adding a couple of lines just to show the little grooves where your hands would go. Now matte black and matte white at a 1:1 ratio is going to give us a really nice medium grey, which is going to work like a metallic colour, just without having that shine. Now if you want to use your silver at this stage, that's not a bad idea either, but like I said, I'm not a big fan of silvers for my weapons, so that's why I just haven't used it. Now rifle brown and canvas at a 1:1 ratio, or those equal parts, is going to be the colour I'm going to be using to layer the boots. And the boots do have actual detail for these Italeri 172 figures, which is really cool. I'm actually really impressed with this US Paratrooper set. Now, rosy skin is what I'm going to be using for his skin, obviously. I mean, it says it on the tin there. And once it's been washed and highlighted and such, it actually turns out really nicely. I think this is probably the best part of the paint range for me. This is the winner, is the actual skin tones and the wash. So this warm skin tone is what I'm going to be using. I've already done the head there. I'm just going to work on the hands. I'm using a battered old brush just with a bit of a point, just to get those flesh areas washed. And I like to paint all the flesh last, so you could do this step beforehand. And there you go, there's the flesh wash applied. That's the sort of hue that it goes to once the wash is dried. So rosy skin is what we're going to be using again. So we're going back over with the exact same colour. This time I'm picking out the cheeks, the nose, the chin, the top of the eyebrows there. Obviously this guy's got a mohawk, so we're painting all the head there, the ear. And we're pretty much joining it all up together, just leaving a little bit of that dark washed base colour underneath in the eye sockets and around the nose and such, in between the fingertips, like you can see there. Then we're going to go rosy skin and matte white at a 1:1 ratio, and I'm just adding in a little line on his nose, a little line underneath the chin, a little line underneath each eye socket, and I'm not joining them up with other areas, alright? So they're just independent little lines, just showing that that's an eye, that's an eyebrow, that's the top of his head, that's the edge of his ear, and there's the bit of his hand and each finger and such. And just to finish it off, we're going to be using rifle brown. So I used boots brown for his hair, and then I'm going to finish it off with rifle brown just for a little bit of a highlight. And there you go, there's our 1/72 scale figure painted with the army paints. So yeah, overall I am very impressed with the army paints range. For somebody that hasn't used army paints before, I think they're a really good starter set. They make for fantastic sets. Obviously they look really good, the box art, all the info in there, and it's pretty much everything you need, and then you can work from there to get other colors that suit your taste, and obviously make your models look a little bit more realistic if that's what you're trying to go for. So yeah, really good, and the value works out to be about $6 per paint in Australian dollars, that is. So there we have it, guys. We have another 1/72 scale toy soldier to add to my glass cabinet. I tell you what, they're growing. We're getting a lot of videos out there, and it was all painted using those army paints. So do let me know in the comment section if you've been interested in these army paints, if you're going to be getting some, or if perhaps you want to see them on a bigger scale. We've obviously still got the German and British sets to do. I was going to keep this as a 1/72 scale series using the army paints purely because I think they're pretty covered with bolt action figures and such, but I'm happy to change it if the demand is there. A massive thank you goes out to the team at Army Painter for sending me these samples, sets, as well as my Patreons and YouTube channel members. You guys are absolute legends. Special mention, as always, goes to those Panzer Aces. So that's Patrick, Oscar, Panzer Jim, Colin, James, Mikey, Mike, Eric, and Lack of Foresight Gaming. Thank you so much for being those aces. You guys are all champions. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it here. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section how you found it. And if you're new to the channel, please do give us a subscribe and like. Alright, I'm actually going to leave it here. See you later guys. Bye.